up, you guys? Lenny here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my first YouTube video. This video has a lot to do with the theme of change, and I think this season, autumn, is the perfect season to talk about change. Autumn has a lot to do with both transitions and transformations, and I feel like I am at a place in my life journey where I am experiencing both. This theme about change came to me as a revelation. However, this revelation was possible because I went through a moment of redemption. This past summer, in fact, for the first time, I was able to rest. For the first time in my life journey, I was free from both school and college. Therefore, I was able to redeem my time to rest. I was able also to redeem myself. I was able to do what I wanted to do, and I was able to be who I wanted to be. From such a place of redemption of myself, revelations came through, and such revelations are the themes with which I align myself throughout this autumn season. The first revelation was possible because I chose to personify the mature me, my mature self, the mature version of me, of myself. As a manifestation technique, I was able to ask myself, what would the mature me do in such a situation or circumstances? And therefore, I was able to act as the person I wanted to be. And I was able to personify such persona in the present moment. I was able to translate the vision of myself into a version of myself. I love this archetype of the mature me, the mature self, because it helps me to go through my life as a story I tell, as a narration. I'm able to go through my life, live my life through retrospective, as if I got to the place I want to be, and I document the journey to get there. I love this retrospective as a manifestation technique, but also as an approach to live my life. This leads to another theme, which has to do with the anticipation. Anticipation can also represent another manifestation technique. Through anticipation, you can create the trailer of the life you want to live, what Joe Dispenza defines as mind movies. Through anticipation, you can choose to personify all the emotions you want to attract in your life through the present moment. You are able to anticipate who you want to be, what you want to do, through what you can access in the present moment. However, there is another definition of anticipation which I experienced throughout the past couple of months. Anticipation somehow can also represent a resistance to change. In fact, as humans, we tend to get uncomfortable around change because change represents the unknown, and as humans, we are built to stay safe and secure, and therefore to avoid the unknown, and therefore to avoid change, even if change is what we actually want. Therefore, we need to manage such anticipation, we need to manage such resistance in order to release it. Release the resistance to the contrast which change represents. To do so, I thought of an example. The adrenaline you experience on a roller coaster ride. If you think about it, you choose to get on a roller coaster in order to experience the adrenaline of the drop, the fall. However, as you are on the slope to get to such drop, to get to experience such adrenaline, you feel uncomfortable. You experience such a resistance because as humans we are built to stay safe, of course, to stay in what we know. But we manage to face such anticipation, we manage such adrenaline in order to enjoy the ride. And you know what? I feel like the life we live is a roller coaster, and we can't always choose whether to get on or get off it. All we can do at times is to face the drop, but we can learn to enjoy the ride. We can learn to actually enjoy it by managing the anticipation, by managing the uncomfortable experience of change, of the unknown, by managing the adrenaline. And this is important. This leads to another theme, which is survival. Survival has a lot to do with adrenaline, and for the longest time in my life I functioned through adrenaline as a survival mechanism, and I'm sure lots of you can relate to this. For the longest time I was almost addicted to adrenaline, to cortisol. This was the way I was able to function, the way I was able to survive. However, there is much more to life than surviving it. Of course, at times, life puts us in conditions of survival. There is no other chance. There are challenges to face, and there are changes which we cannot avoid. However, we can also make sure such survival serves us instead of vice versa. And this is an important shift, mind shift, which to me had a lot to do with the archetype I saw myself as. For the longest time I saw myself as the hero of my journey. But in order for myself to personify such hero, I needed enemies to fight against. I was able to define myself through the challenges I was facing. If there was no challenge, there was no me, there was no hero if there weren't enemies to fight against. However, this way I put myself in service of survival for the longest time. Vice versa, at times survival means to run, to escape, instead of face the challenges. Sometimes to survive means to run away from what is not meant for us in order to run toward what is meant for us. And this is how we switch, we change the archetype we identify with. Instead of the hero, we can choose to personify the archetype of what I call the magician. Let's say the one who paves the way to walk, the one who creates the life to live. And this is what I also define as an ascension, a life of creation, or the creation of the life you want to live. This is how you can access all you want in the moment you realize there are no oppositions. There is just you, what you want, and how you can create it. There is just you as the magician, let's say the source of the way you walk, the creator of the life you want to live, a creator and a creator. I love this archetype who is able to alchemize, transmute the rejections which we experience into a trajectory, or let's say another direction, to get to what is meant for us, and maybe to even create what is meant for us. Well, this summer I experienced multiple rejections from places I applied to work. I applied to multiple jobs, yet I experienced multiple rejections as well. I was not able to keep myself a job place for more than a couple of weeks. Unfortunately, I encountered the most reckless rudeness in multiple cases. I at first was eager to discover the world of independent businesses. Yet, as I got to experience some job positions in such independent businesses around the area I live, I also met the absolute lack of leadership. And this hurt my self-esteem. I struggled to interact with others. And this is also because of my neurodivergent condition. In fact, I have multiple mental health conditions which have a lot to do with neurodivergence. And for the longest time, I judged myself. I blamed myself. I kept saying, why can I not be such a type of person? The type of person who works in a place they have no interest in. However, they are able to come back home and do what they want to do. Yet, at this point, I stopped and I asked myself, wait, what is even that what people want? What is what they want? And at this point, I felt lost. I also felt alone because I had this conversation with other people of my age, people in my situation and circumstances. And I realized no one knew what they wanted. They were doing what they needed to do for no reason. This is the moment I stopped and asked myself, okay, what is that, what I want, and why? This is something I preached for the longest time. The how is not my business. What I need to focus on is the what and the why. Yet I got lost in the how. As I was facing all the rejections, I kept asking myself, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna sustain myself? How am I gonna maintain myself? At that point, the dialogue with myself was all about, well, I suck, people do not want me, I am useless. I focused on the how and I got lost, but the how is not my business. What I need to focus on is what I want and why. And this put me back in a place of excitement and enthusiasm, a place of infinite chances. I was able and I am able to choose what I want and who I want to be. And so I chose to sit at my desk and look at my vision board, which I have in front of me, in front of my desk all the time. But somehow I went off track. And I was able to use these criteria, the criteria of it exists. Abraham Hicks, of course, speaks about this. If you're able to point out stuff which exists, therefore you're able to manifest it by knowing it exists. And so I decided to choose multiple examples of people, places I wanted, people, places who and which exist. And from such examples, I was able to collect elements in common. And I was able also to organize such elements and examples in categories like lifestyle, career, love, spirituality, also aesthetic. And I was able to realize what is that what I want, and most importantly, why. If I focus on the why, I'm able to personify such why, the reason, in my current present moment. And therefore I'm also able to reach the what I want, and the how comes out in and of itself. The universe, let's say, orchestrates the how. Well, I realized through this sort of exercise that for me both lifestyle and career are the same. And this is possible through the alignment with what I value, love, as an actual relationship, let's say a partnership, the person I can share my life, my lifestyle, therefore also my career, or let's say the area of my career with. Spirit, let's say, or spirituality is also another important value of mine. When I say spirituality, I mean a life lived by intuition, by both intention and inspiration. I feel like intention and inspiration, they fuel one another. As you do what you do with intention, you get inspiration from it, and through inspiration you're able to act upon intention, and so on. So these are my values, both love and spirit, let's say, the values I align myself with, and the values through which I want to build my life and my lifestyle as my career. Well, this is therefore the why. These are the why and the what. All I can say about the how is what I call aesthetic, as a consistent approach to the life I live, as a form of coherence, let's say. However, by the examples, the elements I focused myself upon, I was able to realize all these people, the people you can maybe spot on my vision board, what they do exists because of who they are. They are the creator of what they do. They create the life they live, and what they do is who they are. Therefore, there is no doubt, while I was in my previous jobs, positions, I felt like they sucked the life out of me, because there was no me in what I was doing. I need to put myself in what I do because of who I am. You can think of the what as creation, and the why as a, let's say, condivision, a way to share what I create with others. And the how is communication, is what I'm doing. You can also think of the what as self-representation, the representation of my journey, of who I am, and the why is self-realization, to realize who I am, to heal, to grow, and the how is documentation, to document my journey. Well, today we talk a lot about content creation. However, if you think about ChatGPT, if you think about AI can create, and they can, AI or tools like ChatGPT, they can give you the answers to all of the questions you have. However, AI can create from pre-existent conditions, from premises, let's say. AI cannot create from nothing. Humans can. This is something Vanessa Lau shared as well on YouTube. What we seek today is narration. We want to tell stories. We want to narrate the journey of who we are. This is something humans can do because they create from nothing. They create from who they are. And this is how life works. Today we also we talk a lot about personal brands, to build a brand upon who you are, the personal lifestyle, to build a career upon a personal lifestyle. However, through this channel, for example, all I want to share is my persona brand, who I am. This is all I can be, and this is all I can do in a moment of surrender. In conversations with people, I mentioned people of my age in my same situation and circumstances. In a moment of surrender, I was like, you know what? All I can do is being myself. I cannot be anyone else. I cannot do anything else. This is all I got. And guess what? It is enough. This is me. This is my life, and this is the place I create from. This is all I got, and it is enough. And for the longest time I was seeking for evidences of change around me. I was like, I feel like I'm stuck. I perceive a blockage. I grow, okay, I change, yes, but there is no evidence of such a change in my life, the life I live. But then I realized I am the change, and the evidence of the change is me, how I act, what I create, who I am, the creator, the creation. I am. This is the change. All I need to do, all I want to do is to personify such change. As I was saying, I cannot be anyone else, I cannot do anything else. I am me, this is all I got. And even if I was to do what others want me to do, what even is it? What is that what people want? They don't know it. This is where the disorientation comes from. It has to do with others. It hasn't to do with me. And this is because I am free to act upon my desires instead of my needs. I feel like today people are trapped by their needs, and they don't even ask themselves what they want to do instead. You know what? Needs are a sterile place. There is no creation through needs. Needs are to be satisfied. They are done and gone. However, desires are a fertile place instead. Desires is the place from which creation comes from. And you know what? I want to live a life of desire. I want to live a life of creation. And I want to narrate my journey. For the longest time I was stopped by fear, the fear of being both seen and heard, and this had a lot to do with my communication, my self-expression, and the connection with others. For the last 2 to 3 years I suffered with aphasia, the struggle to communicate in my own language, which is Italian. And this of course had a lot to do with my conditioning, the external conditions I was in, for sure, school and college, but also my family. For the longest time growing up I was silenced, and English instead was a great escape for me. I was able, and I am able, to express myself through English. I was able to connect with others through social media, for example. And through this video, therefore, I'm also ready to welcome myself and to let myself be seen and heard by others for who I am and as I am. And this to say, please be gentle. This is my first video and I know my pronunciation isn't the best, but I also hope you can help me. So if in the comments you have some corrections to make, please do it and help me to, get better as I can through my pronunciation and through my language in order to communicate with you. And so this is it, this is me, this is Lenny, and welcome to my journey and welcome to my channel. I hope you can come along with me, and if you decide so, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!